We're gonna start the Artem event. Let's see exactly how Rosa is going to help him out at all in this event. Racetrack preparation area. Not a single cloud hangs above the bivouac. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. For the first stage of the Rally Raid exhibition match on the outskirts of Stellus. The main route of this stage consists of a man-made sand track where each team support staff are busily hurrying to and fro. Though the rally itself challenges the driver's limits, the preparations before each stage also pose challenges for the support staff. We should be able to finish tallying the supplies today. Then we'll have to pack them up as per the equipment list, I suppose. But it doesn't change the fact that he's been working nonstop for over 10 hours. He needs to take a break. Artem, take a break. Please, Artem. Oh. It feels weird to have Zayn in the background. There we go. With a bottle of water in hand, Rosa walks through the boisterous and excited crowd and heads towards her own team's preparation area. As she's expected, the familiar figure is still busying himself there. The lamplight gently shines over Artem's shoulder and illuminates the area his eyes are intensely focused on. Coupled with the complex machine before him and the race suit he's wearing, the calm and serious expression he usually wears when reading legal documents surprisingly exudes a unique charm. He is currently holding up the hood and carefully examining the car's parts, patiently checking the condition of every component.
타이어 부분은 이상 없고 엔진도 점검 끝.
He's so methodical.
예비 연료랑 소화기는 나중에 챙겨야지.
I can pack up the backup fuel and fire extinguisher later.
이번 코스는 난이도가 꽤 있으니까 출발하기 전에 한 번 더 확인해야겠어.
The course is quite difficult this time. Before I set off, I'll double check those again. Okay. Don't look, Zane, cover your eyes. Seems like the work is done for now. Time to remind him to take a break. She carefully walks around him and moves the bottle of water in her hand towards Artem's cheek. Artem turns in surprise when the cold bottle suddenly touches his cheek, only relaxing when he sees Rosa looking at him with a smile on her face.
시장 구경 간 거 아니었어요? 얼굴에 뭘 이렇게 묻히고 다녀요?
Didn't you go sightseeing at the market? How did your face get so dirty? Artem takes off the cotton work gloves he was wearing and softly wipes at her cheek. By the time he pulls his hand back, a dark, incongruous stain is visible on his clean fingertips. I helped the team prop up their car hood when I was on my way back. Maybe my face got dirty during that. I bought this bottle of water for you. It's time to have a break, support manager Wing.
네.
He sounds so cute. Yes, racer Artem. Artem leads her over to sit with him under the tent. He then unscrews the lid on the bottle and sips the water inside. The non-stop work schedule is showing itself through the fatigued look on his face, even though he hasn't voiced a single complaint. Rosa props her face in her hands and rubs the pads of her fingers against the patch of skin he has touched. Her mind drifts back to that incident at home a few days ago. What incident at home? She wakes up on a weekend morning to the delicious scent of breakfast wafting in from the kitchen. That smells amazing. Is he trying a new dish for breakfast today? Are they living together already? She eagerly gets up and rushes downstairs, keen to feast her eyes on the food, only to find that Artem is answering a phone call in front of the kitchen counter.
예보를 봤는데 이대로 진행하면 위험하지 않을까?
I saw the forecast today. Wouldn't that be dangerous? Dangerous?
거래 같은 건 됐어. 우리 우정을 봐서라도 모르는 척할 순 없지.
Ooh. Don't mention transactions with me. We've been friends for long enough that I will not be walking away from this.
그래, 알았어. 이만 끊고 출발할 때 다시 연락할게.
Alright, I get it. I'll contact you when it's time to head off, or when I leave. Artem hangs up and turns around to leave the kitchen, only to see Rosa standing at the door.
일어났어요.
You woke up?
더 자지 그래요.
I guess he said she didn't sleep enough. I came downstairs because of how amazing the food smells. Who was that, by the way? Was that a new case?
아, 그런 건 아니고 정모 전화예요.
It wasn't that, it was Jungmo. I guess Jungmo is Martin here. Is he driving a manual or an automatic? Oh my gosh. Why are you trying to compete with Artem? He will win. I also have no idea what his car would be. Jungmo is Artem's junior high classmate and a professional car racer. She's met him before when Artem participated in an exhibition race at Martin's invitation. Ah, that must be the card, right? Which we haven't done. But, well, since it's Martin's, then is it something to do with car racing?
네. 이번에 미림시에서 오프로드 랠리 시범 경기가 열리는데 국내외 유명한 레이싱 선수들을 초대하면서 정모도 참가한다고 하네요.
Oh, Stellus is due to hold a rally raid soon and has invited many famous local and international racers. Martin is participating.
근데 팀이 해외에 있어서 정모가 국내 경기에 참여하기에는 지원 인력이 부족한 상황이에요.
His team is usually located overseas. If he were to participate in a local event, he'd be lacking in manpower in terms of helpers.
지난번 친선 경기 땐 정모가 시상을 담당했는데 이번에는 후방 물자 지원을 맡아달라는 요청이 왔나 봐요.
Spoiler, he presented the award to me when I won the exhibition rally. This time he's inviting me to help him oversee his logistics in the race. Oh, I see. But if you're just helping out, why are you talking about transactions in danger? Artem pauses in serving breakfast when he hears this.
별거 아니에요.
It's nothing.
정모가 멋대로 결정한 일인데다가 아직 확실히 결정된 건 없어요.
It's just something that Martin decided by himself and it isn't completely set in stone yet. Why the secrecy? Is it really nothing serious?
걱정 말아요.
Don't worry.
무슨 일 있으면 당신이랑 먼저 상의할게요. 참.
If anything happens or if anything goes wrong, you'll be the first one that I discuss it with. By the way, Artem places the breakfast plate before her as if he is dodging the question, then swiftly changes the topic.
정모네 지원팀에 한 명이 모자란데 같이 갈래요?
There's still an empty support role in Martin's support team. Would you like to help me? Mizu only drives an automatic. Kathy, who can drive both. Huh? Can I come too?
네. 미림시에서 이번 국제 시범 경기 때문에 기존에 있던 곳들을 증축했어요.
Oh, Stellus went as far as constructing many dedicated areas for this international exhibition match.
그 중에 인공 모래밭은 경치가 정말 예쁘다고 해요.
One of them is a man-made sand track, and the scenery is very beautiful.
경기도 그렇고 경치도 그렇고 꽤 멋진 경험이 될 것 같은데 어때요?
Whether you're a racer or a spectator, the experience is bound to be exciting or outstanding. Are you interested? Of course. How could I possibly pass up on a chance to go to a car rally with you?
그럼 가는 걸로 알고 정모한테 당신이랑 같이 갈 거라고 얘기해 둘게요.
Okay, then I'll let Martin know that it's possible. Okay. After they arrive at the bivouac, am I pronouncing that right? They immediately start tallying their supplies due to a lack of staff and a tight rally schedule. Everything is just like Artem said it would be. There's nothing major and no hiccups. Looks like everyone in the entire area has their hands full. I'm the only one who's all worried. Why don't I ask him again?
시간이 거의 다 됐네요.
Oh, it's almost time. Time for what?
장비함에 정모 거 장비를 챙겨줘야죠.
Time to pack up his
오늘 아침에
supplies.
말했잖아요.
I told you this morning, didn't I? Right, I remember. We're packing the supplies according to the list provided by the rally staff, right?
네, 방금 들어보니까 정모가 앞 경기에서 꽤 좋은 순위에 들어서 곧 다음 라운드로 넘어간대요.
Oh, I heard that Martin's ranking was pretty high in the previous stage, so he'll continue to the next rally stage.
그러니까 우리도 빨리 물자를 포장해서 보내야 해요.
So we should hurry and send the pack supplies to him quickly. Okay, so this time Artem is not racing. I guess we get to see Artem race in the card. This time he is just helping. Okay. Yes, I know about that one. I was there when you two had the call. Then should we head over to the packing area right now? Let's try our best to get everything on the first transport truck. Artem agrees with a smile. After screwing the cap back onto the water bottle, he prepares to lead her to the warehouse. She hesitates, but in the end, she stretches out her hand and grabs his wrist. Artem, I still want to ask you something.
네? 뭐가요?
Yes, what is it? Artem only on the sidelines? Yeah, I feel like Artem would drive stick shift. Probably. Artem is apparently... Oops, sorry. Volume control. Artem is apparently very, very good at driving. For the past few days, I haven't been able to stop wondering. Just what was the transaction in danger you mentioned when Martin called you? It seems like Artem wasn't expecting her to cling so persistently to this issue. He pauses for a while, then smiles rather resignedly.
그 일 때문에 계속 걱정하고 있었나 보네요.
Ah, so you've been worried about it all this time. It's just that the words you two used make me think of bad stuff. Of course I'd be worried about you.
알겠어요.
I understand. He turns and lightly smooths the hair hanging down over her forehead with his fingertips.
우리 계획에 대해 지금 알려줄 수 있는 건 나쁜 일이 아니라는 것뿐이에요.
I can tell you right now that the plan that we have is nothing bad.
남은 건 경기가 끝나면 자세히 얘기해 줄게요.
As for the
그렇죠?
rest, I will explain it to you when the rally is over, alright? Okay. Cool.
기회가 된다면 지프차로 멀리 드라이브 해요?
Okay, I want to purchase this, but I don't want to display my personal information. So we'll do that later. We'll do that later. Okay, this is so funny. Last time we were doing like electrical engineering with Luke. What are we doing today? I think, what are we making? Okay. So we want to make, oh my gosh. I think this is also industrial engineering. Okay, look at this. We finally got a story. Okay. Initially, she was confused as to why other teams had so many support staff members. By the end of the first day of packing, however, Rosa and Artem are so tired that their muscles are positively aching. That is when they realize she realizes how naive she's been. And this is only the first day. As she watches Artem make a phone call a short distance away, she softly rubs the base of her palm through the cotton glove. Her skin there has been rubbed raw with how the glove kept slipping off. But a whole day of busy work means the area has long become numb. The only thing she now feels are faint residues of pain. Oh no! Just as she tries to peel back the glove to take a look at the wound, Artem wraps up his phone call and starts to walk quickly towards her. She immediately drops her hands back to her side and looks over at him with a concerned look. How is everything? Has Martin set off already?
네, 물자도 잘 도착했대요.
Oh, and our supplies have
이따
arrived.
우리도 차 타고 다음 집결지로 이동해서 준비해야 해요.
We should get in the car soon and head to the next boothie act to make preparations.
오늘 힘들었죠?
Today was hard, wasn't it?
몇 시간 정도 여유는 있으니까 어디 가서 잠깐 눈 좀 붙일래요?
We've got a few hours before we have to go. Do you want to take a short nap? I do, but I don't think there's a place to sleep around here. They look around themselves. The largest flat area where one can have a nap is the wooden box that she's currently sitting on. She smiles and pats the empty spot next to her, and Artem takes a seat there with a resigned look.
미안해요.
Sorry.
일정이 너무 타이트해서 세심하게 준비를 못했네요.
This was a very tight schedule. I underprepared a lot of things. Oh no! It's okay, there's no need to apologize. Besides, it's good that we get to cuddle together like this and chat. She leans against Artem's shoulder and closes her eyes. The exhaustion immediately catches up to her with a sudden sleepiness. She only startles awake when Artem takes her hand and squeezes it. Oh, holds it, causing the fabric of the gloves to graze her wound. Ow.
손이 왜 이래요?
What's wrong with your hand? Oh, he sounds so... Man, Artem sounds so cute today. Artem carefully takes her hand and looks it over, quickly spotting the area at the bottom of the palm that has been rubbed raw. I don't know why the gloves here aren't the same size as the ones sold elsewhere. The gloves I got for the same size are much larger than what I usually wear. It kept slipping off when I was working, which is why...
다음에 이런 일이 생기면 미리 알려줘요.
Oh.
지금은 상처부터 처치해줄게요.
Next time this happens, let me know about it as soon as possible. I'll take care of this wound for you. Oh, she thought it was a small wound and didn't put it to heart, but Artem still brings the first aid box over and carefully cleans her wound. She watches him carefully hold her hand up and use hydrogen peroxide solution to disinfect the area around the wound. His eyelashes tremble, but his gaze does not shift.
아파요?
Does it hurt?
아프면 얘기해요.
If it hurts, tell me. It's okay, it doesn't hurt at all. His warm breath leaves her palm when the wound is finally cleaned and bandaged, but a pair of warm hands immediately embrace it.
심한 상처는 아니지만 금방 낫진 않을 거예요.
It's not a big wound, but it won't recover immediately either.
아프면 일은 나한테 맡기고 푹 쉬어요.
First, I'll manage the work. You should take a rest. It's nothing. It's just a small wound, but I do need to get a pair of gloves that fits before we start work at the next bivouac.
그거라면 금방 구하죠. 경기팀에 24호 사이즈로 달라고 하면 돼요.
That's simple enough. I'll send the organizers a message to ask for a pair of size 24 gloves. Huh? The glove sizes here are different from everywhere else. How did you figure out my hand size? He doesn't immediately answer. Instead, he takes off his gloves and holds her hand, layering his hand over hers. His hand is very big, and his 5 fingers are all longer than hers. He softly curls the first joint of his fingers and completely wraps her hand in his.
이러면 우리 사이즈가 어느 정도 차이 나는지 알 수 있잖아요.
Oh my god. This is how we can figure out the differences in our hand sizes. He pays so much attention to detail. Oh, I got it. Her heart is beating really fast. Despite saying that, she doesn't want to retract her hand just yet. Perhaps due to the excessive exhaustion, her cravings for the small amount of warmth and support she's getting through his hand are enough to make her hesitate. However, after a few seconds, she's surprised to discover that Artem doesn't retract his hand either. Artem.
왜요?
What? When he lowers his head to look at her, he also moves to lower the hand that is touching hers. She hurries to clasp his hand and intertwines her fingers with his.
당신
You. She smiles and swings her hand that is clasped in his. Thanks, Artem. Thank you for knowing me so well.
고맙긴요. 아직 몇 시간 정도 여유가 있으니까 얼른 쉬어요.
It's nothing to be thankful for. There are still a few hours of free time. Let's rest. She doesn't say much else to. They don't say much else to each other for a while. They simply lean against each other, hold hands, and close their eyes for a brief rest. The other's heartbeat, body temperature, and breathing are particularly noticeable in this rare moment of quiet tenderness. The new round of supply preparation is finally nearing its end. Artem still needs to check the list of items with the logistics team. So, Rosa sips some water and has a brief rest on a simple cot. Perhaps you have already become accustomed to the pace of this work. The utter exhaustion she previously experienced hasn't reared its head again. The only thing that is making her uncomfortable is the stuffy heat she is working in. By the 4th time she lowers her head to wipe the sweat off her brow, a towel has gently landed on her head. Huh?
그대로 있어요. 닦아줄게요.
Just stay the way you are. I'll wipe it off for you. Hi, AQ. How are you? How was your week? The dry towel softly and thoroughly cleans the back of her ears, the nape of her neck, and her forehead. The stuffy heat that has surrounded her is finally replaced with a cool freshness. It feels so good.
물만 마셔요. 이번에는 간이 침대를 신청해서 푹 쉴 수 있을 거예요.
You should drink more water. We managed to apply and get a cot this time. You'll be able to have a good rest. So busy, oh my gosh. Oh, were you busy with work? I was also pretty busy this week with work, but very productive, although exhausted. Today was very exhausting. Yes, I drank plenty of water already. You should have some too. Artem takes the half-full water bottle from her as she jests and takes a few gulps. However, he shakes his head when she tries to get him to sit on the cot with her.
먼저 쉬어요. 리스트에 있는 특수 위치 추적 장비는 진열대에서 따로 챙겨야 해서 다른 팀이 접이식 사다리를 가져올 때까지 기다려야 해요.
You rest up first. There are 2 pieces of special positioning equipment that I have to go pick up from the shelves. I'm waiting for the other teams to send the folding ladder over. Folding ladder? But I thought the prep area only had low shelves, doesn't it?
맞아요. 방금 말한 장비는 준비 구역이 아니라 집결지 쪽 창고에 있는 거예요.
That's right, but the equipment I'm picking up isn't in the prep area, it's in the warehouse.
창고 진열대가 높아서 사다리 없이는 꺼내기 힘들어요.
The warehouse's shelves are pretty tall. It'll be hard to get to it without a ladder. Then have the other teams said when they're going to send the ladder over? If we wait any longer, the first transport truck is going to leave.
시간이 빠듯하긴 해요. 지금으로선 지게차로 물건을 가져올 스태프도 없고요.
The time is a bit tight, and there are no available staff members who can help with the forklift.
최대한 시간을 벌 수 있다면 좋겠지만 다음 라운드의 상황을 보면 두 번째 수송차에 실어도 늦진 않을 거예요.
It'd be better for us to be as fast as possible, but going by the outcome of this rally stage, we won't be late if we aim for the second transport truck. Rosa looks around in worry and suddenly notices the towel on Artem's neck. I have an idea.
무슨 방법이요?
What method? Let's go to the warehouse. I'll explain once we're there. I guess she said she knows of a way. She explains to Artem her plans as she stands before the shelves in the warehouse, and he looks quite resigned after he hears it. Rosa, please don't tell me you want to piggyback on him.
왠지 좀 유치한 거려. 그나저나 정말 안전한 건 맞죠?
Somehow it sounds rather childish. Is it going to be safe? It'll be fun. We all played like that when we were little, right? It'll work out as long as we successfully get what we need. Oh no, I think she intends to ride his shoulders. Artem raises his head to look at the shelf again with some concern, as if confirming the height and location. He finally nods.
알겠어요. 그럼 이따가 꽉 잡아요.
All right. Then make sure you hold on tight. Despite saying this, Artem still crouches down in front of the shelf as per her instructions and pats his shoulder.
조심해서 올라와요.
Climb on top carefully. Why is this so silly? She carefully sits on Artem's shoulder. Once she's found her balance, she grabs onto his hands and sits up steadily. Okay, time to stand up. Artem grabs her ankles with his hands and slowly stands up. As her center of gravity shifts, she hurriedly grabs onto the shelves next to her.
꽉 잡아요. 상자를 꺼낼 수 있겠어요?
Grab on tightly. Do you think you can get out the box? A bit more to the left. The left. Yeah, and a bit closer. Wait, what is she instructing him on? Like two children picking fruit from a tree, one of them gives commands while the other moves as the two slowly nudge towards their goal. Then, she reaches out with her hand.
지금은요?
Now? I got it. Hurry, let's take it over. She hugs the box excitedly and prepares to get off. However, Artem does not move. He's laughing softly instead. Give me the laugh. What's so funny? Ah, dang it.
아까까지만 해도 유치하다고 했는데 지금 보니까 꽤 재밌는 것 같아서요.
He's so cute. I know that just now I said it was kind of childish, but now that we've done it, it's pretty interesting. Rosa is getting off of Artem's shoulders. She climbed on top of Artem. One moment. They done it in the warehouse. Well, they've done it in the closet, so why not, right? It's so hot. How steady you can hold me, right? Actually, that is really attractive. He has strong shoulders and legs. That's true. Hey, wait, don't let me down yet.
왜요?
Why? A sudden idea comes over her. She directs Artem to take a few steps back and only stops when she's leaning steadily against the shelf on the other side. Artem opens his mouth again to ask about her plans, but she stops his words by bending down and softly kissing his forehead. This is adorable, guys. This is so cute. Give me an illustration, please. Give me an illustration. Marry him, Rosa. He'll make changing light bulbs a breeze in the future, right? Isn't it even more interesting now? Oh my gosh, Rosa.
정말이지.
Really. After Artem tells her to sit up again, he doesn't pay any more attention to her spontaneous ideas. As soon as she lands and stands on her own 2 feet, he smiles and moves close to her.
요즘 들어서 날 놀리는 게 좋은가 봐요.
You seem particularly invested in teasing me recently. I wouldn't say it's teasing. It's rare for us to be like this, away from work or competition and just spending time relaxing with you.
하긴 그렇긴 하죠.
That's true. As his presence grows closer and the warmth of his body is about to surround hers, a sudden thud can be heard from the warehouse's doors. Rosa and Artem both immediately look in that direction and see a man in a transport officer's uniform placing a folding ladder by the door. He looks around the warehouse and doesn't spot them. The officer then turns and leaves after muttering, "Where is he?" Rosa and Artem look at each other and she feels like her face is so flushed it must have burnt a layer of her skin off.
얼른 물건부터 차에 싣죠. 다른 건 나중에 다시 얘기해요.
Let's hurry and send the supplies over. As for the rest, we'll deal with it later. Good idea. They're so cute. They almost got caught. Yeah, she Spider-Man kissed him. Now it's my turn to top. Spooked away from possible public PDA for the next 3 weeks. I know, right? He's so shy. They weren't caught. Nobody saw them. I actually would have loved it if the guy had seen them. If he saw them and then was just like, well, I'll be on my way. The rally is finally nearing its end, but a worried atmosphere has enveloped the entire bivouac. I have no idea how to pronounce that still. 2 days ago, when the racers entered a mountainous area, the outskirts of Stellus were hit with a sudden rainstorm. Even though dealing with intense weather is one of the challenges for racers even in normal rallies, this artificial terrain is completely different from a natural landscape. The artificial gravel used in the mountainous stage resulted in landslides under the torrential rain, and many participating racers lost contact with the organizers, including Martin. What? What? That sounds dangerous. Rosa raises her head and looks up at Artem, who is leaning against the wall next to the entrance. His eyes are fixed in the direction of the organizer's tent, and he is clutching his phone in his hand. He's waiting for news to come either from the communication officers or from the phone. Hope that Martin's going to be okay. The phone suddenly rings and Artem immediately lifts it to his ear out of reflex.
여보세요? 정모 쪽 소식은 있나요?
Hello, is there any news on Martin?
그렇다니 다행이네요. 네, 이쪽 물자는 포장을 마치고 수송차에 다 실었습니다.
Bivouac. Okay, thank you. Really? That's good to hear. Yes, we've packed all the supplies on our end and loaded them on the transport truck.
아닙니다. 별로 도움도 못 되는 걸요. 네,
It's nothing. I didn't do anything.
정말 열심히더라고요. 다 이 친구 덕분이죠.
Yes, she's working really hard. It's all thanks to her. Thank goodness, it sounds like Martin is safe. Seeing that Artem has hung up, she hurriedly stands up and walks towards him. He turns to her as well. Have the organizers managed to contact Martin?
네, 방금 경기팀에서 연락이 왔어요. 정모가 당신이 포장한 물자를 받고 마지막 구간에 진입했대요.
Yes, the organizers just called to say that he picked up the supplies you packed and has entered the final stage.
정모는 이런 돌발 상황에 대처해본 경험이 있거든요. 아마추어 레이싱 팀의 긴급 구조를 돕느라 잠깐 연락이 늦어졌다고 하네요.
Whack. Bivouac. Okay. I see. Maybe. I'll try to make sure I make the right sound. Martin has experience dealing with these sudden events. He was helping an amateur team deal with their issues and couldn't contact the organizers for a while. Oh, that's nice. Artem's friends are reliable like he is. That's the kind of reaction you get from a pro. In that case, he should be in the first group to enter the next stage, right?
네, 이번 경기에서 좋은 등수에 들 수 있을 것 같아요. 하지만 당신 공이 가장 컸어요.
Yes, he'll be able to place well in this race. However, the biggest surprise is you. What? Huh? Me?
태풍이 몰아칠 때 내가 구조팀의 물자 정리를 도와주러 갔던 거 기억해요?
When the typhoon hit, do you remember that I went to temporarily help the rescue team with tallying their supplies?
그래서 정모 쪽 물자는 당신이 맡아줬잖아요. 그때 상자에 위치 추적기를 하나 더 넣은 거죠?
Martin's supplies were entirely handled by you. You put in an extra GPS, didn't you? Yes, because I was concerned that he might run into some other issues later. It's always good to be prepared.
네. 태풍
That's right.
때문에 정모와 같이 출발한 레이서의 위치 추적기가 고장났었나 봐요. 근데 당신이 추가로 넣은 덕분에 그 레이싱 팀이 위험에서 벗어날 수 있었어요.
A racer that set out in the same group as Martin had their GPS damaged in the typhoon, but thanks to the extra GPS you put in, they were able to get through.
경기팀에서 당신의 판단력이 프로 못지않다고 칭찬이 잦아요.
The organizers aren't holding back when it comes to praising you. I don't know if he says that part, but sure. Apparently it means a camp without tents as used by soldiers of the mountaineers. Ah, okay. So is it a French word? I guess it looks French. Gosh, you're making me blush. I really didn't do anything.
겸손할 거 없어요. 나만 해도 그래요. 내가 당신이었으면 더 잘하진 않았을 거예요.
There's no need to be humble. I agree with them. If I were in your shoes, I might not have done any better. Artem smiles, wipes off the drops of sweat on her eyebrow, and suddenly... on her brow, and suddenly raises his head to check the weather. He then takes her hand and leads her outside. Where are we going?
일은 거의 다 끝났어요.
Our work is almost done.
전에 당신한테 알려주겠다고 한 답의 진실을 말해줄 때가 된 것 같아서요.
I think it's time I tell you the answer. Do you mean that you and Martin were planning? True, you said you'll tell me after the competition is over.
네, 이제 드디어 답을 알려줄 수 있겠어요.
Right, now I can finally give you the answer. She has been to several bivouacs in the rally, and the final stop is next to an artificial lake. Perhaps the intense work over the past few days is taking too much of her time. She didn't even realize that such a beautiful view existed so close to the bivouac. Or bivouac. Oh, bivouac. Oops, I mixed up the two vowels this time. Bivouac. Oh my god, this is so hard. French is hard. The scenery here is magnificent. From the horizon to the apex of the sky, the layers of color are discernible from crimson to indigo. And where the sky connects with the cityscape, a wild and marvelous scene unfolds after the torrential rain. Layers of clouds roil with the glittering sunlight.
전에 참고 자료에서 폭우가 내린 후의 경치를 봤었는데 언젠간 꼭 한번 직접 보고 싶더라고요.
I've only seen scenery like this after storms and reference materials. I've always wanted to see it with my own eyes.
그래서 미림시에서 이 인공 장소를 만들었다는 소식을 들은 뒤로 계속 당신을 데려오고 싶었어요.
So, after hearing that Celis had built a location like this, I plan to bring you here with me. Artem walks up to her and softly takes her hand in his. Gently. She gazes at him. He's looking at the dusk sky, but his expression is gentle when he takes her hand. He's always been like this, sharing with her what he believes to be the best. The booby whack. Yeah. Didn't you bring the Polaroid camera, Artem? Let's take a photo together.
좋아요.
All right. Artem expertly sets up the camera tripod not too far away, adjusts the angle, sets up a timer, and then returns to her side. The sky and the land are vast as the brilliant dusk sky glows in the distance. She hugs Artem's arm, trying to snuggle as close as possible to him in the middle of the photo. However, Artem seems to be deep in thought, as if he's making a decision. Artem, look at the camera. The countdown is about to end. She doesn't get to finish her sentence. He suddenly gets closer, lowers his head, and turns her face at the same time. As the shutter goes off, a warm and gentle touch lands on her lips. Artem! Artem's just the best. So cute! 2 adorable kisses. Wow. He's even greedier than her. He chose an even closer distance. However, after the momentary shock, she sees the light of the golden dust dancing in his eyes. Yeah, sunset kiss caught on camera. Oh god, they're so cute. Over a Windows desktop wallpaper even. It's so adorable. Oh, it's done. After many ups and downs, the Rally Raid exhibition match finally ends without a hitch. Martin comes in 5th, which is a great placement. However, he's immediately recalled overseas for more professional competitions. Wow. Martin's busy. Even so, she's getting more enjoyment out of the celebration feast between her and Artem. What's the feast? Is it him? Artem, look. When she gets home, she opens her suitcase and takes out the souvenir she secretly bought for Artem.
이건 집결지 장갑이네요.
Isn't this a pair of gloves from the bivouac? Yep. I bought them from the souvenir shop at our last stop. I used the same way you determine my glove size and bought size 27 gloves. Let's see if they fit. Artem takes the gloves and puts one on his left hand. However, the moment he pulls it on, her heart sinks. Why does it look larger? Oh, it doesn't fit.
조금 크긴 하네요. 평소에 끼는 장갑보다 2치수 정도 큰 거 보니까 일반 장갑 사이즈로 20kg 같아요.
Ah, it is. This is 2 sizes too large for me. It seems to be a normal size 27. No way. They reverted back to the normal sizes in the souvenir shop? So confusing. Yes, Martin. Hey guys, thanks for all your help. Sees them vigorously making out. Oh, never mind. I suddenly gotta yeet myself overseas. Good, responsible friend.
기념품 가게에서 파는 건 일상생활에서 사용해야 해서 그럴 법도 해요.
Does make sense since the items sold in the souvenir shops are supposed to be used in everyday life. Not willing to admit defeat, she pulls over Artem's hand for a look, only to discover that the glove feels even bigger than it should, even with the 2-size difference. It is large enough for her hand to go inside too. The glove envelops both of their hands together. That's cute. There's no way this glove can be used in an everyday setting.
괜찮아요. 나중에 분명 쓸모가 있을 거예요.
That's alright. Later, there will be a chance to use it. Inside the glove, Artem rubs his fingers against hers to calm her down. We can only wear them to get warm in the middle of winter, and only if the electricity cuts off, so we can't turn on the heater, I suppose.
그런 상황이 꼭 일어나지 않는다는 법도 없잖아요. 만일의 사태에 대비해서 잘 간직해둬야죠.
That could happen. Why don't we keep them for that kind of situation? They collectively work to find the silver lining in the situation. Just as she finally manages to cheer herself up, the doorbell suddenly rings. Someone's at the door. Are we expecting anyone?
택배일 거예요. 정모가 오늘 보내줄 물건이 있다고 했거든요. 나가볼게요.
Oh, it's a package. Martin said he's mailing something that should arrive today. I'll get the door. As Artem gets ready to stand up, a pull on his hand suddenly drags him back. The glove that seemed too big a moment ago now linked them tightly together at the right time. Huh? Why is it stuck?
진정해요. 움직일수록 빼기 힘들어질 거예요.
Calm down. The more we move, the harder it'll be to remove the gloves. Hi, Redstream. How are you? Just then, the doorbell rings 2 more times as if it's hurrying them along.
일단 문부터 열게요.
I'll get the door first. Artem pulls her to the door and opens it with his free right hand. She hides behind him and rather awkwardly listens to his conversation with the delivery person. They're so cute, you guys. There's been nothing but adorable poses and moments in this event. I'm so happy. As the delivery man turns to leave, he even praises how the two are so in love that they need to hold hands even when receiving a package.
자, 이제 천천히 장갑을 벗을 수 있겠네요.
All right, now we can slowly take the glove off. Doing good, I'm glad. How's life been? Anything interesting happen? Artem closes the door and turns back with a small box in his hand. He is also blushing slightly. Yeah, so what did Martin send you? After they work together to remove the glove, Artem takes her back to the sofa and opens the box.
정모가 처음에 말했던 그 거래에 관한 거예요.
This is the transaction Martin mentioned before. Wow, it's so pretty. What is it? The box contains a brilliant ore with the colors of dusk.
정모가 도와달라면서 지원팀처럼 보수를 챙겨주겠다고 했는데 거절했거든요.
Ah. When Martin asked me to help, he mentioned he'd pay me what his support personnel normally make. I refused.
근데 한사코 안 된다길래 그날 그 노을빛을 기념할 만한 광석을 달라고 했죠.
Ah. But he insisted, so I mentioned he could give me an ore to commemorate the dusk on that day as compensation instead.
이 광석은 정모가 지나는 코스에 있는 구간의 특산품이거든요.
This is a specialty item from a location that he crossed in the rally. Okay. Life is going like a river. It doesn't stop and it's just moving forward. I hope it's going smoothly. Artem passes the ore to her.
장갑 선물 정말 고마워요. 이건 당신한테 주는 선물이에요.
Thank you for the pair of gloves. This is my gift to you. She takes the ore and weighs it in her hand. Apart from the color of dusk, it's also carrying the temperature of Artem's hand. It reminds her of how close the two were to each other on the day that they took the photo together. She places the ore in front of the photo of them together. Even though not everything went according to plan, we got a nice picture and a beautiful ore.
네. 이 사진은 내가 본 사진들 중에서도 꽤 괜찮은 작품이에요.
Yes, this is the best photos compared to all of the other photos I've ever seen. He's so cute. His expression is as gentle as the one he wore in the photo, as if he is once again immersed in the tenderness of that day under the late afternoon sky. For some reason, she moves close to him again and pecks him on the cheek. Is it because of this that you like that photo so much?
맞긴 한데 스킨십이 잘 맞아떨어지지가 않았네요.
You're right, but the skinship isn't. He slowly pulls her closer until they can hear each other's breath and heartbeat.
사진을 특별히 더 좋게 평가한 이유는 사실 이것 때문이에요.
The real reason why I like that picture so much is because of this. A soft breath brushes past her cheeks. Before her logic sinks into oblivion, her eyes land on the smile that Artem wore in the photo. What kind of expression will he wear in their next photo together? Full of expectations, she closes her eyes and lets her thoughts sink into the warmth. Oh, that was really cute. Event is over. Adorable.